G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is the other video that I mentioned in the other video. I did one of these pictures of Matisse and I wanted to do this one now, this kind of top half chunk here. So I'm just gonna get to sketching and then like we did last time, just kind of see what happens. I actually want this one to be a lot more abstract, well, not abstract, but I want it to be a lot more exaggerated and kind of, I guess, more wild, like with the mixed media. I think I was a little bit reserved. I mean, not even really. I think I was just a little bit more. I want this to be so much more. Just want to be a bit crazier with it. There you go. That's all I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. The more you do, the more you kind of throw yourself at a process like this, the more room there is for it to go completely wrong. But I don't think that should, stop us from doing it, right? So she's actually sitting on an apple box. This photo, she has about, I would say maybe 12 to 15 folklorico dresses on, and they're all stacked. She literally could not walk in it. It was so heavy. So we had to get her over there, put her on an apple box and took a photo, and she just kind of scrunched them up in her hair. It was really beautiful. I tried throwing a few of them. There's a bunch of really nice photos of her just kind of cupcaked in all of these dresses. Matisse is a folklorico dancer. And quite famous on TikTok for it, actually. There's my little shout out. Not that Matisse needs it at all, but if you find her on TikTok, you can go and see her do her thing. She's a beautiful dancer. We love beautiful dancers over here, and yeah, Steve and her work together at Disneyland, and he just thought, let's do a photo shoot. Let's get your stuff in there, get your dresses in there. I think the whole idea of the photo shoot, Steve will probably elaborate on this whenever he shares it, but let's get some of this mixed media going. I think I just want to go straight in with, like, I don't know, this gouache. Yeah, Steve kind of wanted to shoot the person Matisse and then the folklorico dancer Matisse, and then, kind of play with her in a bunch of different, I mean, not versions, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's all dress up. Essentially, that's why it was called muñeca, because that means doll. And so she was like our doll that we were playing with. Just kind of toned the whole thing. Doesn't really make sense now that she's leaning on nothing, so maybe I will just add some skirts. Who really cares if I don't draw all the ruffles? That's just the only reason I didn't draw it, is because I was like, I'm gonna have to draw those ruffles and I'm not gonna have time. But this is just supposed to be whatever, right? So I will. I'll be able to do whatever I need to do. Oh, I got this gold from Art Snacks. Let's put some of that in there. Just see what happens. Anyway, so this is part 2. That's almost a perfect color match to that gouache. This is part 2 of that video. I don't know if I'll end up naming them part 1 and part 2, but here I am anyway. Let's get some of this in here while this is all wet. Separate those lines a little bit, maybe make them a little bit more fluid. This has such a fashion illustration quality to it. I love it. Looking very Dior. Let's pop on, I kind of like the brown of it all. I'm not going to do this over the shoulder situation. I'm actually going to just put on a sweetheart neckline. That's my favorite. I'm liking that this is leading me in towards kind of like a fashion sketch. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to let this be Matisse the fashion model. And those beautiful unbothered eyes. Center part low bun. Love that. If you're ever looking for just a really classic, timeless, chic hairstyle, center part low bun is it. Some people say it's like a young woman's hairstyle. I don't believe that. I think anyone can try it. I mean, obviously. Maybe everyone can't pull it off. I'm not quite sure. I couldn't pull it off, but also I wasn't a gorgeous young woman, so that was probably working against me. I'm going to put this white gouache on here, mostly because I want to dip into the watercolor and then use the white gouache with it. So if I dip into this red over here and then pull up some of that gouache, just want to see what happens. Everything on here is water reactive at this point, except for that neon pencil. I love red. I also love this malachite color, so I want to get that in here somewhere. Maybe I'll just put it in the background. Ooh, it's pretty dirty. Let's mix some white in with that. That's more opaque, so we can get rid of that messy extra line. I think maybe I'll just blend the outside of this illustration into the background. It'll be pretty muddy. Maybe a light green, yellow. Over here, I think I just like adding color. Said it was going to be a bit more brown and neutral, but here we go. The color's here now. We can't take it back. This light purple is pretty. I'm using the Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor set. It's like a watercolor. It's a little bit stickier, and if you put it on really heavy, it's pretty glossy, but they have beautiful big pans, which makes using this type of brush, this distress brush, really fun. Because we can just get in there and add all of that beautiful color. I'm just going to add tons of color, actually. That's that malachite. Oh, especially to the dress. This looks like that Dolce & Gabbana. Does anyone remember that? Dolce & Gabbana had that campaign back in 2000, I want to say 8. And they had really massive tulle ball gowns that were hand painted with flowers. They were so pretty. And we'll just texture it all by going like that. It's all a bit muddy and green, but it's okay. Can't win them all. You know, even if you cover up the colors that were in the background, they still sort of show through. So layering is never really done in vain. But I'm just enjoying moving this paintbrush around, so we're going to get whatever results come from that, I guess. She's going to become like Earth Mother. Dolce & Gabbana style. There we go. Let's get into that. I'm going to dry it and see what happens. You can see the difference between the color when it's wet and when it's dry, just how much it fades when it dries. There's some really heavy areas with that Gansai Tambi that are going glossy, which is not ideal. I think I just added too much, got too carried away. I've kind of got this urge to paint her in gold. She's got that yellow undertone. Maybe we can make her a gold statue. Let's just see what happens. Imagine I just left it like that. I'm an artist. I can do that. We're allowed. I just really like being expressive without having to do well. That looks great. However, I feel like we've just gotten rid of everything we did so far. So, I'm wondering, should I try and use this gold to reshape some of this dress? As if it were a pencil. Put the little bustier, little garment construction lines in there. So the gold looks so beautiful on top of this dark background. I'm going to ruffle that edge, make it look a bit more textured. Pull some of that ink from here. Maybe put some roses on here. I don't really know how to do roses, but I think if I just squiggle this around, should do something. I mainly just want to get all that extra gold off her skin because it'll take yonks to dry. And I want to layer something over the top. She's a Golden Globe. She's a trophy. And then what if I just sketched over the top of the whole thing again with like a paint marker? So just let this be in the background. See what I can come up with over the top. Just sweep up any extra of that gold so I can give it a quick dry. That's good. And I've got a whole bunch of paint markers here. Thinking of white, maybe. Well, I have some brush paint markers though. Maybe that might look nice. Doesn't have to be totally dry. Here's some paint markers. I have a gold brush one. Pink? No. Orange? Orange might look good. I don't know which. This one might not even be full. I thought I got rid of all my not full ones, so hopefully. Just use oranges. I don't usually use orange. I'd love it if this orange worked. Oh, there you go. All right, let's try and draw it back on top. Might not stick out as much as we need it to, but as long as there's a line work on there, I think it'll be fine. That looks really nice, actually. I like that. going low bun. There's the lips, nostrils. Those really dreamy eyes. And there's really nice eyebrows. Put some shadows on with the orange. I like that ink bleed wherever I want a bit more saturation. Okay, let's do that for now. Dry that. Uh-oh. Accidentally blew it away. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? I'm more curious now if I grab the white crayon and go over the top. I kind of want to see what will happen if I can smudge that around. Is that going to work? Oh, orange. I'm going to put my finger in the water. This is going to be a mess. I like the gold under there, but I'm more curious to bring back some brightness, and nothing brighter than white. This is a mess. I've gone through stages of liking it and then not liking it and then liking it and then not liking it. Do you know what I think I want? I think I want to bring back a workable surface for the face, and if I can get a nice face, then I will like it. See, I said this in that other video. If I don't like the face, I will scrap the whole thing. And because I keep coming to the face last, it's not working. But I think it's not broken. Like, we can fix it. We're just gonna have to get really abstract and mix media with it, which we can do. Do you know what? I even like the idea of reshaping everything around her in black, which I wouldn't usually pull out, but I just think it might be nice. If you look closely, you can still see tons of those layers under there. There's even some of that original pencil sketch that we did at the start. This is just going to really pop it all out again. And I think I like the texture of the crayon, so I'm probably not going to activate that with water. I kind of like the look of it being this veil. That's what I should have done. Italian funeral. Oh, speaking of, did anyone see From Scratch on Netflix? Do not watch it unless you're ready for an emotional roller coaster. But Steve and I binge watched it all in one night, and I was sobbing. Like, just absolutely a mess. Anyway, loving the idea of this though. Do you know what? Maybe I will activate just the edges so I can bring that black into the outside of the piece. Switch that back and forth so I can just get that edge. Because that whole area is wet, the black will flow into there. we can help encourage it. I mean, do I just go over her with this black as the veil? I don't know, I'm getting closer and closer to doing it. No, someone stop me. Oh, I don't know, I really want to. I think I'm going to. I'm going to leave this rough, raw edge at the bottom. That's the veil on top of the dress. Please let this be a color that dries lighter. Imagine I've just erased the whole thing. And you can kind of see her under there. Okay, we got rid of mostly everything, which is what it is, Santa. We could probably reactivate some of this and take it off the top. I just need a little cloth, because there is a gold layer under there, so I feel like that should be easier to bring it off. Oh wow, that looks like it's kind of glowing under there. Let's just take off the highlights. See if we can't kind of reveal her under there. That might be nice. Look, even the orange is kind of showing through as well. This might work out after all, guys. Even though about 90% of you thought I ruined it. Have some faith in me, please. I still might have ruined it, who knows? We may never know. Bring it out, especially in the center of the face, on the top of the shoulder. Just for reference, anyone attending my funeral, not to go there, but just to go there for a second, this is the dress code. I've always said that I wanted my funeral to be like the biggest event of mourning that anyone attending has ever experienced in their life. But I also want it to be super dramatic, like floor-length black veils, gowns, wide brim hats, just like over the top. A fashion event, but funeral. And I would like lots of mourning, please. All right, so I feel like it came back to life a little bit when we did that. I do have these pencils that are lighter. This one is called Areti? Oh, Arctic. I thought the C's were E's. Arctic. I'm a fool, Kim. All right, I'm gonna put some of this into the highlights as well. Just try and sharpen that up like we were doing with the other one. So I'm just carving out certain areas in the illustration that will lead your eye to form a more flattering picture of what exactly is going on. So the outside of the shoulder, the inside arm here, still very stylized, but your brain, when it's looking for it, will be looking for some of these features. It will be looking for the shoulders, the arms, the elbows. Like if it identifies a human, it wants to see all of the things it would see on a human. So if we can just encourage it to kind of fill in the blanks, then these abstract pieces tend to work a little bit better than fully outlining everything. So you can see it's a pretty broken line, nothing too specific, just leading a few details, like the bun. It's good. A few flyaway hairs in there. It's very Dolce. I feel like Steve might like this one if I didn't go at it like an absolute maniac. If he had been here watching this, I could only imagine the stress I would have put him under. I think it turned out beautifully in the end, which is all that really matters, isn't it? I'm going to slightly outline that veil. I left the edges kind of raw because I like that unfinished lace, kind of tattered lace look. And the orange I feel like peeks through just enough, but I might add some of the details in just with a regular pencil, just like the inner mouth line. Oh no, this is gonna be hard to see because of the glare. I'm gonna have to push this paper up a little bit. It's scratching through. What's it scratching through to? What layer is that? No idea. We're not really going to be able to see under there. I guess I can just add a bit of dark pencil, maybe. I'm going to do that. A bit of dark pencil for the eyes. This is a green. Mallard green. It's a nice name. The orange is showing through, so that's fine. I feel like that made it a bit more bold. The eyebrows. And I think I'll just accentuate a few of the shadows in there. There we go. Well, that was wild. I feel like I should do another one just in case this one isn't what I think it is and I stop the video and I think, actually, that's insane. Let me go find another page real quick. Is that dry? Great, it's all dry. Oh yeah, great. Let's just do another one really quickly here. I love my journaling. It's always time for one more. Let's go in with this mallard green. Here, finger, hand. I'm gonna block it all in. I'm gonna exaggerate this one even more this time. Neck, shoulder, back, arm down here, arm over here, sitting on dress. Face, links, nose, wise, ears, middle part. Okay. Watercolor? Do you know what I like the idea of? What if I scribbled all over it with white first? And then added the watercolor and then scrubbed it in so that it became kind of like a white mix. of the aqua pastel and the watercolor. Does that make sense? So it's going to kind of blend into a blend on the page, and we'll see what we can do. I'll use a small brush so I can really scrub it in there. Let's go for this kind of tone. That's what I'm looking for, that kind of milky, creamy consistency. That's what I want. It's kind of making like a more opaque watercolor as we go. And I've used green, so maybe I'll use this malachite. My water is so dirty. Okay, what if I use this kind of sky blue around it? When I'm making illustrations that I think I might end up wanting to put in Collage Club, and this is a super random thought, but we're here to hang out and chat. I tend to not go around them because it takes too much time and energy and effort to remove them from their backgrounds. But when I play a lot, I usually always go around everything, just because I like how it refines the edge and it sets the illustration into a scene. It's not just kind of floating in the air. That's nice. She's sitting in the clouds. I like this green. I feel like I want to do some kind of leaves or bush or something, I don't know. She just feels like she's sitting up above the trees and in the clouds or something, like she's on top of the forest. I'll try it. What's the worst that could happen? We just don't like it. Those can be, what are they called, redwoods? I don't really have any textured brushes, do I? Here, I can try and use this one. Go really Bob Ross. Let's put some tree stems in there. Happy little tree trunks. That's nice. I don't really know how to do them, but I feel like they all, it's like a Y that keeps branching off. Oh, I like that. Let me try and put some clouds that dissipate off to the side. Put one up here. Try that. And then I can just put some simple features in there, I think. Surely that's dry. I reckon if I go in with this light, actually what's this? Light aqua. Maybe this can be my highlight, since it's kind of blue and green and light. Oh, I can feel that aqua pastel underneath there. It's kind of blending with this pencil as well. Or it scratches through the paint, does it? Is it removing the paint? Not quite sure. Either way. I'm gonna pop out those eyes again. Do all the features with this dark turquoise. It's pretty. It's giving Mother Earth. We'll just finish up by putting a nice low bun down here. I love that. I think that looks great. Do kind of want a little bit of pencil around the edges. Not anything too dark, but just to blend in some of those wayward lines from all the sketching. Just gives her a little bit of a glow. That's pretty. I really like that. I think that turned out well. A lot more refined than our other attempt. But I like both. Both have their place. This is our this was our dark space, and this was our light space. I guess I was feeling completely bipolar today. I shouldn't say that. I don't have bipolar, but you get what I mean. Opposite ends of the spectrum. However, it was all in the name of fun and playing with my art supplies and getting into my art journal, and I had a great time. We did not end up doing this version. I don't know if I will. Or I could just do another quick video and have a bit of a play. Let's do that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
When I'm feeling weak, you're my energy. And when I'm all alone, you keep me company. To my darkness, you're a shining light. You're the reason I'm not scared at night. 'Cause of you